Gil Martin of Locked On NHL here as we continue our coverage of the 2022 NHL Draft. Joining me, Brandon Pillar of Locked On Senators, our prospects expert. And right now, Jay Forster of Locked On Blue Jackets joins us. And Jay, you have to be happy with David Jiříček as the first pick for Columbus. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. He was actually, I had him ranked as this my second favorite overall prospect, so I was fully assuming that he wasn't going to be there at sixth. And then every other team just kept making weird decisions. So I'm super thrilled with Jiříček.
What do you think he'll add to the Blue Jackets lineup once he gets there?
I think he's going to be a very, very good Seth Jones replacement. I think he can play with Zach Werenski on that top line. He's incredibly offensively gifted, but he can play that two-way game. He's a big body. He's a pain in the butt to play against, which I think I tend to differ on how much the Blue Jackets need that versus some other members of the Blue Jackets media, but it would be nice to have someone who is more than, like 6'1". So I'm really happy with this pick. I think he's going to be just a real stud for the Blue Jackets. Basically, immediately, he could play in the NHL in October, I think.
Brandon, do you think he'll be there in October?
I mean, it's very possible. He's, as far as my money goes, David Jiříček is the best defenseman in the draft. So to have him fall to the Columbus Blue Jackets at 6 overall is incredible. I think maybe a reason he did fall is he did have a knee injury this season, and that really hindered his play. And maybe some teams were a little weary about that. But you don't always select a guy based on how ready you think he's going to be now. And the injury concerns, I don't think, are a big issue if you're looking at Jiříček down the road here, because he's a very good defenseman, and he has great defensive awareness. He can read the play. He already has great gap control. So it's tough to get around a guy like him, even though he's younger. And not only is he good defensively, but he's a powerful skater with good edge work, and he has a bomb of a slap shot from the point. So if you're the Columbus Blue Jackets, and Jay, you got to be pretty excited about this. You're looking at a young defense core that includes Werenski, Adam Bockfist, Jake Bean, and now David Jiříček. Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be oops all Rovers on the Blue Jackets defense core for quite some time, I think. And yeah, I completely agree. I think the injury scared some people off, but he's 18 years old. They heal fast, and he's clearly done enough for Jarmo Kekalainen to. I think he's been on Jarmo Kekalainen's eye this entire time. I don't think they ever thought about drafting anyone else. I heard whispers that they were thinking of maybe a couple other guys. Obviously, Cutter Gauthier, who ended up going fifth, which was a big relief for me because I've always been in on Jiříček, and so to have Gauthier off the board, which the Blue Jackets had been pushing him a lot on the social media, things like that. Not to say that Gauthier is a bad pick. I think Gauthier is going to be a very, very good player, but to have him taken off the board, I was like, oh man, we could get Jiříček here, and turns out we did. I think this was the plan for the Blue Jackets all along.
Brandon, what is the biggest shortcoming of his game as of right now?
I would say maybe he doesn't, if you're comparing him to Nemec, which often that's been happening, he doesn't have the puck carrying skills of Simon Nemec, but his defensive game is better. And that's a great thing for the Blue Jackets. They've got guys like Werenski that can put up the points from the point, whereas a guy like David Jiříček, he's going to be better at shutting down other teams' top lines while also being able to contribute on offense. He doesn't need someone to move the puck up ice for him. He can do that himself. Honestly, Gil, I don't have a lot of shortcomings for David Jiříček. Other than that knee injury, he looks like he's going to be an absolute stud, and it's almost impossible to find right-hand shot defensemen, top 4 defensemen. You have to trade a lot to get them, overpay for them in free agency, or you go the route that the Columbus Blue Jackets have gone here and you draft and develop them yourself. And I think this is a great pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And if they can now use their other pick to select a top forward, if you get Jiříček and a top forward from this draft, they're looking very good moving forward.
Jay, do you think that's the direction they'll head in, or will it depend on the board?
I think, yeah, it definitely depends on the board. I would be very surprised if they did not pick a center or even potentially a winger who they see as someone that could play center. I think it really depends again on who's left. I have a couple of guys in mind. I'm not sure who has gone in the draft since we started recording this, but yeah, there are definitely a couple of guys that I think I have my eye on. I think there are a couple of specifically Finnish players that I think Jarmo Kekalainen has been watching very, very closely. And so, yeah, that's my hope. And typically, Jarmo Kekalainen seems to draft the players that I like him to draft. Like there's not been
nice.
too many draft picks in the past couple of years where I've gone, oh, him really? Beyond, the Chinikov pick, which has turned out pretty well. Kekalainen, I think drafting is one of his strengths. So I really have no worries about this upcoming pick.
All right. For more, you can listen to Locked On Blue Jackets with Jay Forster. Jay, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.